Hey guys, Joe here with ECRM, and I'm at our on-premise adult beverage session in New Orleans, and I'm here with Ashley Bray, the editor of Bar Business Magazine. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So she just moderated a panel discussion, and we're going to talk about a couple of the takeaways from that discussion. Can you give us an overview on what the panel discussion was about, and then we'll dig into a couple of points?
We covered the topic of meeting on-premise demands, which was great. We covered a lot of ground in about 40 minutes. We discussed trends, we discussed the health and wellness movement that's currently taking over the industry, customer experience, and then what's going on in the world of beer, wine, and spirits specifically. We had two operators, one from Topgolf and one from Quaker and Lube, and then we had Tales of the Cocktail Foundation, which is a local outfit here in New Orleans, on the panel.
Excellent. And what we're going to talk about here is the customer experience.
Yes.
And so give us an overview, the importance of the customer experience and some of the things that they talked about.
Sure. So this may come off as a little strange because customer service and the experience of the customer has always been paramount in the on-premise location. But what has changed is there are a lot of more things vying for a consumer's attention nowadays. There's not really a reason to leave your house anymore.
Yeah.
You have Netflix, you can go and get high quality liquor at the liquor stores. There's experiences like arcade bars. I mean, there's a lot of things vying for attention. So what is going to bring that customer into your bar specifically? Things to focus on that we found are quality ingredients, of course, first and foremost. Staff training is also important. There has to be a reason for that customer to walk into your bar, and a lot of times your bartender or your bar staff can be that reason. If they create a relationship or they start telling you a story about a brand that you won't necessarily get anywhere else, that's a great opportunity right there. Another thing we found is the trend of games. A lot of old school games like shuffleboard or arcade games. Pinball has become really big. So these are some things that you may want to explore bringing into your own bar, especially if you have a larger footprint. A lot of the games that they make nowadays, they keep in mind that bars can be quite small. So there are options where they fit in a small footprint as well. But it gives your customer something to do. It helps check size because they're there longer if they're having a good time with their friend. And it gives them a reason to leave the house.
Yeah, well, I've seen that a lot in smaller bars where they have a limited space. You know, you have your traditional dartboards and things like that, but a lot of people getting into the Jenga or the Connect 4 games. But also, there's a bar in Brooklyn that has shuffleboard and they have bocce ball, and they do something that's really cool for the food side. Instead of having a restaurant, what they do is they have two spaces, and every night they have two different food trucks pull in, and that serves as the restaurant. So it's, again, to your point, it's creating an experience, a unique experience, not just from the entertainment and the games, but you know, it's always a different food truck coming in, and so it mixes it up a little bit.
And that's the challenge I think operators today face is how do you one-up yourself even, and your competitors down the street, but also yourself. So by bringing in different food trucks, that creates a variety, I think, that will keep consumers coming back because they haven't tried it. So
I think a good way to measure if something is effective is this something that other people are bragging to their friends about?
Yes, I mean, we live in the world of social media and influencers and all of that. Optics are very big. So if you're presenting an experience that can be photographed and presented in a way on social media, you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, and then if something that, hey, they get home and they're like, oh, you guys got to check out this place.
Yes.
That's what you want. Is you want someone on fire saying, I just had this amazing experience at this bar or at this restaurant.
Word of mouth is important, and that's how you do it, is providing an experience that no one else can present, even the guy down the street. Something that came up in our panel today too was in regards to spirits, specifically wine. So there's a lot of wines available in C-stores or liquor stores, package stores. If you can present a wine to the customer that they can get nowhere else, that is specifically an on-premise type of a promotion, or maybe is a more expensive bottle of wine that they can then enjoy by the glass, you're also creating an experience that's unique.
What about own brands, private brands?
Like
they do in the, private label and off-premise locations. Would that work well towards that?
Some people do that. They'll work with a company to rebrand a product as their own. And so that's an option as well, because then that creates a point of differentiation. So
they can only get it here, because I know some of the local bars in Queens will have their own, it'll be like Brooklyn Brewery, but they're making a specific craft beer for this restaurant.
Yeah, and that can definitely help, because then you cannot get that anywhere else. A lot of brew pubs are doing that now too. If they brew specific type of beer, they may only make it available on tap at that location. Guinness does that at their Open Gate Brewery in Maryland. They will do different concoctions, they'll age it in a barrel, and they'll only have so much of it, and you can only get it at that brewery.
All right, so you have that scarcity.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
supply and demand, it's
Yeah.
it's the simplest of economics, and so if
Yep.
you're creating that in your venue, you have a reason to get customers through the door. So.
What about health and wellness? I know we've talked a lot about health and wellness
We
throughout the
have.
session. However, what's interesting on the panel is, you know, they were saying that, you know, these are the places that you sometimes come to indulge. So it's like you come, you're not really thinking about health and wellness. You want the fries, you want the grease, you know.
It's a double-edged sword because when people go out, it usually is for an occasion or it's for
Yeah.
a cheat meal or an excuse to indulge. So they may not necessarily be looking for the healthy option, but you can't not have it on the menu.
Yeah.
Something came up called a veto vote.
Veto
so
vote, yeah.
if you have a family of four and mom's a vegan or dad has a gluten allergy
Yeah.
and there's nothing available for you at that restaurant, well, guess what? They're not going.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you need to at least have the option available on the menu. Whether it's your biggest profit pusher, maybe not, but it's not something you can leave off.
Yeah, so you don't want those 6 people not to come because one of them's a vegan and you don't have any vegan options.
Exactly. So you need to kind of think broadly and cater to any possible customer who walked through your door, even if it's just a matter of it being one dish on your menu.
Yep, and fortunately, companies like Impossible and Beyond
Beyond
Meat
Meat.
are helping in that area, creating something that's, you know, kind of meat-ish for these vegans.
It's an alternative,
So,
and it's happening in the liquor world too. Liquor alternatives, Seedlip is huge. It's a non-alcoholic option. Mocktails are still really big.
Yeah.
Things like that. Low ABV is popular as
Yeah.
well. So it's a matter of providing your customer with that option, you know, to choose something aside from the traditional cocktail.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for the great panel discussion and also for moderating the roundtable
Absolutely.
yesterday.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me, Joe.
All right.